Assalamu alaikum students. This is your computer teacher Aisha Anwar. Today we are going to start the next chapter, which is about system development life cycle, or in short we call it as SDLC. Alternatively, we also called it as software development life cycle or system development life cycle. SDLC is a process used by the software industry to design, develop, and test high quality software. The main aim of SDLC is to produce a high quality software that meets or exceeds customer expectations and reaches its completion within time and cost estimation. It means it is a complete and detailed process which is used to develop a software. And what type of software? High quality software which is developed within a certain time limits and within a certain budget. It allows software engineers to follow this complete procedure, and at the end of the procedure they deliver a complete software with the complete functionality. In this chapter we will study about SDLC with details. We will define a system. What is a system? Then what is the importance of SDLC? What are the objectives of SDLC? Who are the stakeholders? And after discussing these, we will discuss SDLC phases and steps in detail. There are about 10 phases about SDLC, and at the end of this chapter we will discuss about the personals involved and their roles. For example, there are so many people who are involved in development procedure, like managers, testers, programmers. We will study about them in details. At the end of this chapter, we all should be able to define a system, explain SDLC, its importance, its objectives, its stakeholder, and its detailed phases like planning, feasibility, analysis, and the rest of the phases also. So, starting from the beginning, first of all, we will define SDLC. The system development life cycle, or in short, SDLC is software engineering, is the process of creating or altering information systems. Here we have to understand the particular terms like software engineering, creating or alternating. Software engineering is the complete field in which we study about how to create a software, what are its particular and what should be its features. And the term creating or altering, creating means to create a new software or to develop a new software from the very beginning, and altering means to change the current system or current software. And information system means any softwares which are developed. For example, if we say about student management system, in our computer we use a student management system, we call it as SMS. And some person from the administrator works on SMS to enter the new admissions, your exam details, your each and every detail is present in that software. For example, your contact numbers, your results, your addresses, your further details, like this. That is the system which was created. Now, if there is a requirement to add a new feature, it means we will alter that system, we will change that system. Or in other words, we say that SDLC or system development life cycle are the models or methodologies that experts use to develop these systems. Systems means the software which are to be produced. So now we will define software engineering. What is a software engineering? Software engineering is an engineering approach for software development. It means that a software engineer is a person who develop a different type of software. For example, if we say there is a civil engineer, the duty of civil engineer is to design or develop the roads, bridges like this. So the software engineer is the responsible to develop the software systems. Software engineers plan, design, create and deploy the software like games or any other software. So in software engineering, the SDLC concept reinforces many kinds of software development techniques. There is a large variety of techniques that are available to develop these type of software. For example, a waterfall model, spiral model and so on. These models are not included in your textbook. This is just to give you the concept. These techniques form the framework for planning and controlling the creation of an information system. These methodologies or these techniques or these frameworks, they are used to plan and develop the complete softwares. Each technique has its own positive points and its own negative points. It depends upon the software engineer which approach will he or she select according to the requirements. So software engineering is an engineering approach using which we develop software. We are using the term system very frequently. So here we need to understand the term system. What is a system? A system is a set of components. Component means both hardware and software for collecting, creating, storing, processing and distributing information. A system can be developed by applying a set of methods, procedures and routines in a proper sequence to carry out some specific task. In simple words, we can say system as a software which is to be developed. For example, if we have to develop a software about some hospital, some library, some school, some college or some office, for some bank, that type of particular software is generally named as the system. So these systems are developed by applying different methods, and these methods are the same techniques or the methodologies that we have discussed. Now after discussing the word system, we are going to discuss system development life cycle, SDLC. It is the same word system as we have discussed in the previous slide. So why is SDLC is required? What is its importance? SDLC is a problem solving process through which a series of steps or phases helps to produce new information processing system or software. The basic purpose of software or system development life cycle is to develop a system in a systematic way to get a perfect software. Why is it important? It is important because we want to deliver a quality software which should meet the system requirements. For example, if I say I have to make a system in which the results of students can be calculated. To calculate the result of the student is my requirement in this example. It also ensures that the requirements for the development of the software system are well defined and subsequently satisfied. It means that during the SDLC we mention and we define each and every requirement that is to be integrated into the system. For example, what features should be included into the specific software, like in student management system SMS, all the requirements should be mentioned. For example, to calculate the result of a student, to print the results of a student, to add on their house details, to add on their admission details, to add on their board result details, like this. I should define each and every detail in the beginning, and SDLC enforces us to write down each and every requirement. SDLC also allows us to deliver the cost effective system. It means the software which we are going to develop, it should not be costly, it should be cost effective, and it should be the productive, and it should maximizes the productivity. For example, if I am talking about student management system, so at the end of the development of the system, the productivity of these users should be increased by using that software. So it was the importance of the SDLC. Now, what are the objectives of SDLC? A system development life cycle has three main objectives. It ensures that high quality systems are delivered. It provides strong management control over the projects, and it maximizes the productivity, as we have already discussed. If we summarize these 3 points, we can say that one of the major objective of SDLC is to establish an appropriate level of management authority to direct, coordinate, control, review and approve the software development projects. It means our project should be properly coordinated, controlled and reviewed by the authorities, and SDLC should identify the potential project risks in advance so that proper planning should be done in early phases. What can be the risk of any project? Risk means what are the failure factors. For example, we should estimate all the possible risk factors. For example, if the design system is going to be failed, is going to be successful, or like that, if there are the chances of the system failure, so we should write all those in the very beginning. Now we are going to discuss the stakeholders of SDLC. Stakeholder means each and every person or entity or groups which are either within the organization or outside the organization that sponsor, plan or develop a project. So it means stakeholders are entities or groups. Entities mean any individual or anything, or groups means more than one person, and those stakeholders can be within organization or outside the organization. And what is the role of these stakeholders? They either sponsor, they plan or they develop the project. Stakeholders may be users, managers and developers. It means कि एक सॉफ्टवेयर के साथ जितने भी लोग interact करेंगे, either the developers, the end users, the managers, the testers, all of these known as the stakeholders. It is the duty of the project management team to identify the stakeholders, determine their requirements, expectations and manage their influence in relation to the requirements to ensure a successful project. So in short, we can say that every individual or person or a group of persons that can interact with the system. Either they develop or either they use the system are known as the stakeholders. Today it is the end of the today's lecture. From the STLC phases we will discuss in the next lecture. Up till now you should be able to define a system. You should also be able to define the importance and objectives of STLC, and you are also should be able to define the stakeholders of STLC. If you are having any query, please feel free to ask. Thank you.